is a Mexican-Norwegian actress. Little fun fact. She is also a dear friend when we went to Lambda together, and we have some Lambda representatives. Yes. And brought her here too because we were sort of going to talk about Dia de los Muertos as well, because we are both Mexican. But before that, I would love to just let her introduce herself and tell a little bit about what you are working on in the Mexican film world right now.
I'm actually in post-production for a film that I co-wrote, a feature I co-wrote and that I made earlier this year with in Mexico called Leona. And it's
What's the premise?
The premise is so there's a huge Jewish community in Mexico City, which I don't know. I didn't know that before I did this film. And the director's Jewish, so he approached me with the story. It's about a Jewish girl, a young Jewish woman in Mexico City, modern Mexico City, who falls in love with a non-Jew, and whose family and community make it really, really hard for her to continue the relationship, and forcing her to kind of make a choice between family and duty and her love. But it's more of a coming of age than a kind of Romeo and Juliet thing. Yep.
Can I ask what the inspiration was?
The inspiration came from Isaac, the director, who grew up within that community and who just felt really, really strongly about just the lack of flexibility that, you know, the community can sometimes have, and how so many of, you know, his own friends and family members had already been in situations like that, and it's really, really hard for them not to, like, to leave their community. Most of them end up renouncing their love and like sticking to their tradition, to their sense of responsibility. Yeah.
Oh, I just went to Mexico last week.
Yeah, you did.
And we went to a Cholula, and
I've never been.
And right near Puebla. My family's from Puebla. And there's this beautiful pyramid, which my partner and I went into, and like that part was so cool. And then of course, like on top is this like huge cathedral or like church right on the top of it, and it's like very famous. But it's just like on top is sort of like an FU to the
pre-Hispanic
culture.
Yeah. But so, but the pyramid was still there, and they just built over
it.
Yeah,
like the tunnels and everything was like kept. Cool.
Oh yeah, but it was kind of underground.
It was underground, yes.
Yeah,
took me
like, you know, like it's not a pyramid with a church.
They covered it, right?
Yeah.
They covered
exactly.
it. Exactly. Yes.
That's the thing.
That's crazy
Mexico.
to do.
All over Mexico, they used to do that.
Creepy. Imagine covering another building. Can't think of what. With dirt.
I have a few ideas.
Yes, me too.
We'll leave that for another chat.
Yes. But it's something else I wanted to bring up was the food in Mexico. I miss so much tamales, and I really love blue corn tortillas with Oaxacan cheese. And
it's so good. It's really easy to eat well in Mexico for not that much money.
No, yes.
Yeah, it's a
very cheap.
And also at any given moment, like what I really miss being in New York is the kind of 3 a.m. tacos that you can get on every street corner in Mexico City, as opposed to here. Well, I mean, yes, you do have your, you know, taco trucks and some parts of the city, but it's not the same.
Well, for some reason I don't trust trucks and like street food here, but I do over there. You do? Which is like
so many of my friends have gotten the revenge of Moctezuma, is what we call it. Moctezuma's revenge is like when a foreigner comes to Mexico and gets sick immediately from like trying the food or drinking tap water, which you should never do. Yeah, so
I did have the revenge.
You did? You got it?
Yes, but that was not last week, and that was earlier on.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Can I get a round of applause of people who have been to Mexico? Wow! People who want to go to Mexico. And then people who've been to Mexico and want to go to Mexico. Everyone's like, stop it. It's too much. Well, so what are some of the memories and smells that bring in memory for you from Mexico? Or like, do you know, like, there's, when you go to Mexico, what do you smell and what does that bring? What does that bring up?
You said blue corn, and just the smell of tortillas, hot, warm tortillas in general. The smell of Oaxacan hot chocolate, you know, so good. Just, what else?
Here's another question is like,
sure.
now thinking about like going back and forth between Mexico and here and Norway and
less so, but yeah.
when you go to those places that you consider home, what are smells that come to mind?
I guess Norway, for example, would be Norwegian waffles with lingonberry jam and brunost, which is like a dark goat's cheese that they really love. Just like fresh made waffles and like heart-shaped waffles. I don't know if any of you've seen
You can
them.
smell the heart.
They're so like when you go to IKEA, that's what you smell. Oh, yeah, when you're leaving, when you're paying, and you smell everything that's coming from the kitchen. Yeah, exactly. It's so good. And in Mexico, another smell that I really relate to it is like pan de muerto, which we have in Dia de los Muertos. Is so nice. And, and the kind of sugar on top, and those would be. I mean, I could go on and on because the culinary culture in Mexico is so vast and rich, but yeah.
So this may help to where I'm going with these questions and stuff. What we do have are some scents. So we have some scents, and I think scent and memory. And so no tasty for this one, but we do have a demo for you, and that is to smell 4 different scents. And I'd love you to